Hello everyone, it's Elaine from Crafting Desert Divas. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be just doing a quick video on dies and using your dies in different ways to get more out of them. So I'm just going to kick right off with this card that I've created here. I have used the scallop die from the Outdoor Landscapes 2 and kind of made this the feature of the card. So I've just taken a piece of cardstock and I have just placed the die at several intervals across my card and die cut it, and then I've sort of secured, ink blended all the pieces up separately and then put it back together onto a card base. So I thought that was really nice, rainbow feature. I thought it was really pretty. So to finish off the card, because I want to keep this card the focus, these colours and this pattern, but I am going to put a sentiment on the front, and to do that I'm going to demonstrate how I do partial die cutting. So I have already heat embossed this sentiment onto a piece of plain white cardstock. This is a sentiment from the Stars and Wishes stamp set, and it says, when it rains look for rainbows, when it's dark look for stars. So I thought that would go quite nicely in the centre of my card, just so I can keep this rainbow to be the focus. So I haven't got a die that will cut out that square exactly as I want. I've got this one. This is from the Fancy Frames die. Can you see that? But this die is just slightly too small, so that one's not going to work. So what I thought I would do is take the next size up, and if I can do some partial die cutting, which I will show you, let me zoom you in, then hopefully I can get a sentiment in sort of die cut with a pretty pattern around the edge without going to buy more dies. So here we go, let's pop that down. I'm going to secure that down with some post-it tape. Let's move that out of the way. And now I'm going to take my die cutting machine. Now my camera is very close to my die cutting machine, but hopefully you'll be able to see this. And you can buy partial die cutting plates. They're just this size but a lot smaller, and I do have those, but obviously because not everyone might have those, I wanted to use the plates that come with my machine. This is a Sizzix Big Shot machine, but this technique I believe would work for most die cutting machines. Let's see if I've got the small cutting plates. These are the small cutting plates that I have. Excuse the noise. These ones, they're just a lot smaller. But as I said, not everyone might have those, so I want to kind of ensure that everybody can do this, and you can, even with the big plates. It's just a little bit more fiddly sometimes depending on what you're cutting. So here we go. Now I'm going to get my top plate, but I'm going to make sure, excuse me, that it doesn't cover all the way to the end. Can you see that my plate finishes just after my sentiment? Okay, so I'm going to run that through. Just going to move that up a touch. There we go. So here is where my bottom plate is here, and my top plate ends here. So now I'm partially die cut my sentiment out. So now I am going to remove that die, and what I find easiest now is to trim out my this extra paper we don't need. So I've just got what I need to cut, and you'll have a lot more room than I will, so apologies. So now what I do is I take my die the other way, and if you feel around you can feel where the grooves fit in. So I want really my sentiment, and I can feel where they're going to fit in. I can try and line those up. There we go. That's where I want it to end. Can you see? And they're all on the back. Everything's lined up. So I'm going to secure that down with some post-it tape. So I'm going to, just to be on the safe side, I'm not going to run this section through the die cutting machine again. I'm just going to take my plate, and here is my bottom plate, and I'm going to run, you see the edge of my top plate is here, and I'm then going to run that through my die cutting machine. Away. Oh, let's put it on. So there we go. And you can see that I have cut out. So obviously this was the die, and this is what I've managed to cut out with it using partial die cutting. So that's just one solution. So now what I will do is I will secure that to the front of my card. And there I have got one card done using my dies. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you found that tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on social media. I'll leave all the links in the description box. We'll see you next time. Bye.